I'm convinced that if you want to enjoy your hobbies nowadays, the best thing that you can do is to just not have any. You know how we have looks maxers who obsess about their appearance and then get surgery to make themselves taller? I'm like that, but with my hobbies. I'm a hobby maxer. Like many of you watching, I'm assuming, I'm just way too interested in so many different things that I end up just being really bad at all of them. And if you watch this channel, then you'll know that I love gaming handhelds. Now, this hobby in particular, besides just like eating unseasoned white people food, is the longest standing hobby that I've ever had. I got a Game Boy Advance SP slapped into my hands when I was 5 years old thanks to my grandma, and ever since then I've just been obsessed with these things even 20 years later. Now, I'm not really sure what's happening to me. Maybe it's the fact that I read all of these comments from people craving so badly for a new device, or it's my own self-destructive tendencies, or the fact that I see a new iPhone released every single year, or the fact that it's December and every time I walk into a building, Mariah Carey is just blasting inside of my eardrums trying to convince me to buy some type of Christmas gift. But I'm tired. And I don't mean tired of handhelds or things I'm passionate about, but I think a lot of us can get tired of the constant treadmill of just upgrading and purchasing and this loop that we're constantly walking on. And it's a really tricky thing to walk on because somewhere along the way, the excitement can get focused not on what you already own, but what you don't own. With the rise of social media, consumer culture has never been louder, and I myself have even contributed greatly to this. I mean, I've basically been given a megaphone and I've just been yelling at people like, look at how cool this is, look at this new thing, look at this handheld. And as somebody who's just been handed this loud megaphone on the platform, I feel like it's my responsibility to also drill it into you that you don't need to buy anything new. What I've realized with gaming hardware that applies to most other areas in my life is that getting the most use out of any device or anything that you just bought is way more satisfying than buying the next thing. Now, this is not a new idea. I know that I'm not Aristotle on a mountain just like, guys, crazy idea. If you want to save more money, then don't spend more money. But what I do know alongside all of you is that we are consumers, and we're aware that hobbies are important, and spending money and time on things that we love can absolutely add to our lives. Because if we can't do this, then why are we working so hard for the shareholders? And people are becoming more and more aware of this as well. The recent survey shows that the average American holds onto their smartphone for 29 months before upgrading, compared to 22 months back in 2016, which was almost 10 years ago. 2016 was almost 10 years ago. I think this is a good thing, but the title of the article makes it feel like it's your fault. Americans are holding on to devices longer than ever, and it's costing the economy. How dare you? You think you cannot upgrade to the newest iPhone? What, do you not care about the economy? I guess I don't care about the economy either, because I haven't upgraded my phone in over 4 years and it's literally broken. I shattered one of the lenses a year ago, and every time I open my phone to take a photo, it sounds like this. I still don't feel inclined to get a new phone, and if anything, the fact that this is broken makes me happier because I use it less, and this is literally just like a portal into depression. And my specific situation makes me wonder what everybody else is thinking. Are we not upgrading because we can't afford to, or is it because we don't see any value in what is new and what's being upgraded? Why does it feel like the only addition we've gotten to any technology these past few years has just been like AI features that nobody has asked for? We've now seen every single publicly traded company incorporate this into their software or technology some way or another, and it's a buzzword. Everybody's saying AI, whether you love it or hate it. You got people who are like, I'm gonna be rich off AI, and people who are like, I hate AI and I will not touch any technology. I'm gonna go live in a cave. Then you throw in subscription pricing models and hardware that's designed to break on you in a year, and you've got a big movement of people who can't stand the word AI and don't want to upgrade any of their technology. be. And now that we're on the topic of AI, not only has it been replacing a lot of our jobs, but on top of that, it's replacing consumers too. RAM prices are spiking again because companies realize that they can make way more money selling memory to AI instead of to regular customers. Crucial is shutting down its consumer brand because Micron wants to send all that RAM straight to AI companies. So literally, like I just said, consumers are now getting replaced by AI as well. We can't even buy things. I'm halfway through my 20s and I'm looking around just like, what is going on? COVID hit right when I turned 20, and then now in my mid-20s, this is happening, and I'm just wondering, like, dude, what am I gonna witness before 30? I mean, this is a pretty interesting movie. Currently, I am a 2-time college dropout student making goofy YouTube videos online and mid-white rap music out of my grandmother's spare room inside of a PVC pipe booth made of moving blankets. So, things are really panning out for me, guys. And all this is just pushing me to make more use out of the things that I already currently own, and I'm sure a lot of other people have had to do the same. Learning how to do this, though, does take time, and no matter what stage you're at in life, you're always gonna have to flex this because it's one of the most important things that you can do as a consumer. This is now my protest against consumerism.
Isaac, what's going on in here?
What? Oh, I'm just falling asleep.
Well, I should have just stayed in my room.
Big thank you to Titan Mattress for sponsoring today's video and keeping the lights on. They sent me the Titan Plus Luxe queen size mattress here. It's genuinely improved my sleep. I haven't gotten a new mattress in like way too long. I've been a chronic stomach sleeper my whole life, so I've just been like full gremlin mode, just turning into a baby, and my posture has been getting destroyed as a result. And every time I slept on my back, I was so uncomfortable. I felt like I was just lying there like an NPC waiting for someone to talk to me.
Coming to bed, honey.
But this mattress has actually improved that, and I'm able to sleep on my back like a normal person now, and I'm making it a habit to not destroy my future spine. Titan mattresses are designed, assembled, and shipped from their Arizona factory, built with heavy-duty coils and premium foam so they don't sag or sink. Mine arrived in this tiny box that inflated super fast, no weird smell. This dude is just knocked out cold right now. You can scan this QR code or go to titanmattress.com and use code isaacOS to get up to 30% off of your order. Thank you so much to Titan Mattress for sponsoring this video and keeping the dogs nice and cozy. So how do we actually step outside of this continuous loop? What would it look like if we told the story of a consumer who actually got the most use out of their devices? As you all know, I'm obsessed with gaming handhelds, so I'm going to use this as a personal example here, but this can really apply to any hobby or any area. For starters, I think the best way to counter any FOMO is to just reinvest into what you already own. And the currency to do this isn't just money, but your time. Time spent customizing and slapping on a brand new coat of paint. This can be as drastic as changing the entire operating system or as subtle as simply changing one little wallpaper. I can't tell you how many times my craving for that new device or that new thing has been satiated by me creating more novelty and a newer environment with what I already had. This is why I love Android gaming handhelds so much, because there's a million different ways that you can make these things look. I mean, you can go with different front ends, you can change the wallpapers, reorganize your apps, download different apps. There's so many different APKs that you could launch and load on these things. I mean, the possibilities truly are endless. And even within these apps themselves, you can get even more creative. I have so many videos of just turning each individual device into a Pokemon themed one, but you could do this in any different direction, whether it's with your phone or whatever technology you already own. I'm sure there's a community out there that has resources for you that are free, or you can try to tinker with things yourselves to give it a brand new aesthetic. The focus should be on giving it an identity refresh rather than a hardware refresh. Just like on my phone, I'll change this picture of my wife to another picture of my wife. But if you wanted to get money involved while keeping costs lower, this is where the hardware modding and the physical changes can also take place. Buttons, cases, grips, whatever it is. I mean, you can even put little charms there on your Thor or your 3DS or whatever you got, man. Even if it's a flip phone. I've seen crazy flip phone designs out there nowadays from people who who are starting to get rid of their smartphone. It's been so fun to see this resurgence of the aesthetic changing and, just making more use out of your device. Just in a general sense, I think we're all aware that things and products are way more useful and valuable when you can customize them and you have options available. Why do you think I hate the Switch 2 UI so much, dude? There is like no customization on this thing. It's just a bunch of boxes and you got 2 colors to pick from, and that is it. What am I looking at right here? How did we go from this to this? It doesn't make any sense. Maybe the lack of customization is just some big scheme to get you to buy the next shiniest thing because it'll actually have a different piece of software, even if it's so subtly different. I think I'm onto something here. Get me back up on that podium. Less customization equals more consumerism. You can also get way more value out of what you already own by embracing the limitations of whatever it is. Usually the upgrades or the newest hardware always comes with the added benefit of giving you more options, way more games to play, a newer camera to take more photos, better software to do more things and install more apps and download more games or whatever it is. There's always an added idea of doing more, which is great. I think that's how it should be. If you spend money on a product, you should get more options. But I come from the retro gaming community, and if you reside in this community at all, then there are so many games to play, and a lot of times it's just paralyzing. If you have so many options, it can almost feel more fatiguing to figure out what it is that you actually want to play. And if you've got probably undiagnosed ADHD like most of us do because of the way that the attention economy has been just like infiltrating our brains, just picking one thing and sticking to it is actually pretty difficult. This is why it's kind of a blessing to have older or limited hardware, because it forces you to just be like, well, this thing only plays up to PS1, so I might as well play Pepsi Man for the 800th time. Most of the time, the cheaper option is also something that's more than capable, but we just hate to admit it. I just recently bought a bunch of analog gear for making music. I spent a good amount of money on these things because I thought it was going to make my vocals sound better, but in reality, they basically sound the same as like the $20 plug-in alternative that you could just buy online. I think that's why so many of us have all of this nostalgia and love for the devices that we grew up with, because we didn't have adult money or the freedom to just buy the newest and best thing. Most of us would get maybe one handheld every couple of years, every 5 years, or maybe just one handheld for your whole childhood, and you had no choice but to just enjoy that thing to the fullest. And what happens is we end up being shocked at just how far we can really push and drive some of this older hardware that's limited. Like the 3DS is an absolute monster after you mod it, and it's completely free. But all of this does rely on the simple core foundational concept that you're actually using the things that you own. All the time we spend looking for something new could just be sunk back into the device itself, enjoying it for what it's capable of. This one makes me pretty sad in particular because as this channel grows and gets bigger and bigger, I get more and more handhelds but play less and less games. And right now, like I said in the last video, all that I want to do is really just sit down and play Pokemon Lazarus, but instead I'm yapping to a camera. I'm gonna bring things back to my hatred for most social media platforms like I always do, because there's just all of this noise that is preying on you, and it's trying to exploit this concept that you don't have enough. Whether that's with your technology or even your appearance and personality, all of these apps and social media outlets and even just people in your daily lives are trying to convince you that there's something wrong with you, that you are lacking something, that you're void of something more. And the more that you could feel that, the more money they can get out of you and convince you to just do whatever they want. And I just want to reiterate and tell you that, you have enough, especially if you've got people in your life that love you. I mean, we are all blessed to just even be hanging out here watching this YouTube video. Like, this is dope, dude. I'm having a great time. This has spiraled down a super corny and motivational route, but I don't care, okay? This is important that you like truly try to embrace this, because this is something that I'm actively trying to have more in my life, of just gratitude for everything. And you could still have gratitude even while spending money on hobbies and things that you're passionate about. In a modern era that's surrounded by the things we've talked about so far, like subscription pricing models or continuous upgrades or hardware that kind of breaks on you, there's still so much desire out of a lot of people for high quality products that feel like they give you value. And one of those recent examples has been the announcement of the new Valve hardware. Not to gargle on Gabe Newell any more than I already have, but these new products do seem very worthwhile, and as though they're putting a lot of what the consumer might want first instead of Valve's own priorities. All of this still depends on the pricing, though. I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, I'll pay $1,000 for a GameCube. Like, no, this thing has to be priced well alongside the frame, and we will see within the next few months where Valve want to lie with their pricing models. But they've gotten our attention, and it's mostly been positive so far, which I think is very rare to do, especially with everything that's happening with RAM and just, you know, it's been interesting. And the key word here is attention, because that's the way that this whole digital world relies on itself. Like, I need your attention to watch these videos. If I don't have your attention, I'm just stuck in my grandma's house for the rest of my life. So this is what I'm saying, man. The way that you consume things, the things your eyes are fixated on, is so valuable, and I hope that you hold that closely to your chest and value your own sight, because what you consume and what you're looking at dictates the surroundings as well. We could go down this whole rabbit hole right now.
Things you own end up owning you.
And consuming things is fun. I'm not going to go meditate with Guru Patik in the Eastern Air Temple, even though if he offered the chance to do that, I probably would say yes, but I'm not going to do that for the rest of my life. I enjoy consuming things. I have these hobbies that I love. I'm very interested in and invested in everything that I've talked about so far today, and I can't even imagine what my life would have been like if I didn't get my Game Boy Advance SP when I was a child, dude. I don't know how I would have gotten through my parents' divorce without that thing. This video has just turned into a big rant. I don't even know what it was I tried to say at the beginning of this. This is like me complaining, ranting, and just yapping, dude. If you made it this far, I hope you got something out of it, because I'm struggling to close this out. I feel like I'm reaching a mental checkpoint here with my life. I don't know. Is this a quarter life crisis again, dude? I just had a quarter life crisis. Do I really have to go through another one now?
A man who gon' die by the sword might seem ungrateful, it ain't just about more, but building a life where I'm breaking through flaws. I've seen highs, I've been low between fighting this war, and I'm still pushing back, ain't got time for rebuttals.